Hello everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Orders and the PDX Picker channel. I am Chris. We are going to pull some orders sold for me on Poshmark and eBay. Talk about a very interesting customer service situation that I had with a particular item that I sold a while back. So we'll get into those topics right after a shortened version of the intro song, so stick around.
Don't know why that kind of stuff you throw away. I'll sell on eBay.
All right, so my November is going really well. I have a bunch of great sales going out. Let's pull a couple of orders and then we'll get into that situation because I really want to know what your thoughts are on this. What would you do in this particular situation? Because I'm a bit stumped. So anyway, let's go ahead and pull those Poshmark orders first. First one is a Bob's Burgers Christmas sweater. Found this at a garage sale over the summer and thought it would be a pretty good sale. I believe Bob's Burgers has kind of a cult following. I've never seen the show, but there seems to be some real diehard fans that watch it. And I sold a pair of Bob's Burgers DC shoes, slippers. At least I think I sold them. Maybe I still have them listed for sale. But this will be the second Bob's Burgers item that I have sold then. It's this Christmas sweater here. It's a double XL, really good size. Like I said, picked it up for $2 at a garage sale, and it sold for $27 plus shipping over on Poshmark. I don't know who these characters are, but definitely is a pretty funny, kind of an ugly Christmas sweater variant, if you want to think of it that way. Or it could just be I don't know, somebody could wear that year-round. It's not that Christmassy. Maybe it's not a Christmas sweater. Wouldn't that be ironic? I think I labeled it a Christmas sweater. I did. Now that I look at it, there's really nothing about this specifically that would make this a Christmas sweater. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this a Christmas sweater? Anyway, that's funny. I was convinced that was a Christmas sweater, but now I look at it some more and I'm not so sure. This next item that sold, I paid up for this and I was worried. And turned out to be a good gamble. This was a Pendleton shirt that I bought at my thrift store for $24.99. So like I said, took a gamble because that's a lot of money. It is vintage, but who knows? Who knows exactly what somebody is willing to pay for? Because I couldn't find an exact comp on this. But I listed it for $100 and I had some interest, and then took an offer for $80 plus shipping. So it's this right here. I'm trying to get a nice view of it, but really cool colorway on there. It's actually a Sir Pendleton. I don't know exactly what the difference between what makes a Sir Pendleton shirt, but you can see that vintage tag on there, made in the USA, pure 100% pure virgin wool. When you get that blue Pendleton tag, it's usually made in the 90s or 80s. I'm probably guessing this is from the 90s. So with Pendleton wool shirts, what you're really, of course, the subject or the colorway itself is important. But you also have to take a look out for moth holes. Moths love to eat their vintage Pendleton shirts, and this one was pretty much pristine. There were no holes that I could find in it. So the colorway combined with the condition made me realize that it made me willing to take a chance on it, and it paid off, like I said. So, and it didn't take very long. This was listed no more than a month. So a real quick sale on top of it all. So let's get into this topic because, like I said, I really want your feedback on it, and a lot of people don't watch my videos super far into it, so I want to get people's feedback sooner than later. I had a situation where I sold a good condition Canon PowerShot SD630 digital ELPH. I wanted to look up the model specifically. Sells for about $150, or I sold it for $150, which was top of market, but it was in really good condition. Tested it out, worked great. Sold it to somebody back on September 3rd. Okay, today is November 19th. And I'm still talking about this item over 2 months later. And the reason why is I have a bit of I think a technologically disadvantaged buyer. So they had originally messaged me a couple of weeks after I shipped the item, and they said that they couldn't get the camera to use an SD card. It was a real basic message they were getting, and when I did a 3-second Google on the situation, I realized I just needed to format the SD card. Tried to explain to them the process of formatting an SD card, and they couldn't get it to work. They just said it kept saying it wasn't formatted, it wasn't working. So about 6 weeks ago, I offered them a refund. I said, hey, if you can't get it to work, I don't want you to have spend $150 on an item for it to just not be useful to you. So I said, go ahead and return it. And then I even step by step walked them through the return policy on the return process on eBay. I didn't get any additional messages from them after this. I heard nothing from them. Now, today, November 19th, I get a message from them that says they have another problem with the camera. There is an error message that is popping up that says there is an issue with the lens. The error message says, lens error, restart camera. Again, I did a real quick Google search, and the solution to this is a couple different options. One is just restarting the camera like it said. One is doing kind of a factory reset of the camera. And the third one is there's potentially an issue where there could be little particles, little maybe bits of sand or dirt that get in between the lens. And so basically the lens kind of pops open, and when it turns on and off, it either closes or opens depending on what you're wanting to do with it. And if the little pieces of dirt get in there, well, then the lens won't open or close. And this particular error message comes up, the lens error. So I am confronted with the situation where this buyer is again reaching out to me for basic technical support on an item that I sold over 2 months ago to them. It was $150, so maybe there's something to be said about what exactly my responsibility is in this situation. But what do you think my responsibility is in this situation? What would you do in this particular case? I will let you know what I do in the next video, but I just want to know, what would be your next steps? To me, there are multiple different options. I can attempt to try and walk them through the technical support in this process again. I could suggest to them that they Google the answer. I could offer them a refund if they send the camera back. I don't even know if it's an option anymore on eBay because it's been so long, but I could look into doing that. I could do a partial refund. What would you do in this situation? So comment below, and also let me know if you've had any other scenarios like this where you've had a buyer reach out to you months after you sold them, with either a question or an issue or a complaint with a product that they bought from you. All right, let's go ahead and pull the rest of the orders on eBay. There's some really good ones and some smaller ones, like usually is the case for me. The sale that I've been running has been very successful in terms of getting items out of my inventory. So with that being said, I mean, sure, they are not going for top dollar by any stretch of the imagination, but I do love getting rid of some of these older items. This next item that sold, I have to put the camera down to find it. I'm not exactly certain why I bought it, but it's this Izod Lacoste turtleneck. Picked it up at the Goodwill outlet, I believe. Paid $2.70 for it, or excuse me, $2.45 for it, and I don't think it's really that vintage. It's probably from maybe the late 90s or early 2000s. I guess it is vintage. It is single stitch, although I don't even know if I mentioned that in the title. But anyway, it sold for $11.37. So I made a profit, but not much. I just kind of have some nostalgia, I guess, for those old Izod, the alligator logo on there. I suppose there's some of you that might not be familiar with it, but that's the logo there. They're still in business. I think they're a little bit of a higher scale brand, upper, whatever the term is. They're a little bit of an upscale brand, but they do not. Not all pieces are going to be worth a lot of money. So again, I'm just happy it sold. Another item that I don't have to worry about taking up space in my inventory. This next item was a not so good one. I doubled my money, I made profit, but probably paid way too much to begin with. I just have to find it. So I have this clothing rack here. I have two of them that are next to each other. You'd think it would be easy to find items because I have them alphabetical by brand name. So I'm looking for a Nike item, and it's a men's Nike. So men's would be down here. Here we have a North. Okay, so this is North Face. Then we have LL Bean. So it should be right here, which means then that if it's not there, it would be over here in this section because this is my newer inventory. Not there either. Sometimes I put stuff on the ends here if I don't have enough space for them. It's nowhere to be found. So I don't know where this item is, and I really hope it's not another item that I lost. Okay, it has black sleeves. I was looking for something with white sleeves, so that could be the issue. One thing I will say for certain is of all the brands that I buy, the ones that I consistently sell all of them, all of the pieces, is the Nike brand. I have a lot of other items that I will sell. I won't sell all the pieces. They'll sit here. I mean, Carhartt, Columbia, Polo Ralph Lauren. Just think of good brands. I have a lot of them. Harley Davidson, and they don't always sell. But as of right now, I have. Finally, there it is. Jeez. 3 Nike items listed. Well, I had 3. Now I only have 2. This is what sold, and I paid $12.99 for this. It didn't take very long to sell, so that's good. I only listed this in the last month, but I only sold it for $28 plus shipping. It has a semi-vintage tag to it. By semi-vintage, this red tag, I believe, means it was probably made in the 2000s. So, could have been 2008, 2009, but bought it for $12.99, sold it for $28, so not a great profit, but not horrible also. At the end of the day, I still made a good chunk of money. I'm super busy at work now, which is not always the case. By work, I mean my normal day job. Just have a lot going on. I took on this new task there, and was having this person train me on how to do it, and she spent quite a bit of time going over it with me, but I always knew in the back of my head, like, well, I'm paying attention, but if I have any questions, I'll just go to her to ask how to do it, or to clarify how to, fix this issue or whatever, because she's still working. She's just giving up the task and passing it on to me. Well, I just found out today that she is taking another role in the organization, so she'll still be working for the same company, but just not nearly as available as she would have been before. So that got me kind of stressed out and a little bit worried, but whatever. It's just part of life, right? So I'll get over it. So this item sold. It's a Zumo stream box, 4K stream box. I think it's kind of like a Roku or a Amazon Fire Stick or whatever. Those are good pickups. So I paid $9.99 for that at my thrift store, and it sold for $49.95 plus shipping in about 2 or 3 weeks. So really good profit on those Zumo, Z-U-M-O stream boxes. Really good. I don't think I've ever seen one before, but really good profit on that one. Yeah, so I have that going on at work. I have just another issue at work where this process that has been super smooth, and month after month I'm not running into any major issues. Well, this month I ran into a major issue, and I don't necessarily know how to fix it myself. The person that developed this process for me, he is retiring at the end of the year, so he's leaving. So I kind of feel like I'm being, not being abandoned, but just all of my backup, all of the people that I could reach out to for questions are kind of leaving. So that's just a stress that I am not really liking right now, but again, not the end of the world. This item sold. It is a vintage L.E. Smith Moon and Stars candy dish. I don't do a lot of glass because I'm not super great at it, but I know that Murano is a good brand. This isn't Murano, but I just really liked the color and the pattern on it. So L.E. Smith is the maker of it. The only reason I knew that is I Google lensed a picture of this. So this moon and stars, I don't fully understand why they call it moon and stars. Nothing about that looks moon and stars to me. But according to the Google Lens and other pieces that have sold on eBay, that is called moon and stars. I had bought this for $4 at a garage sale. Had it listed for $40. Had a whole bunch of watchers on it. People were very interested in it, and finally somebody sent me an offer for $35, and I took it on that one. So it won't be too hard to ship. I guess these points right there, I don't know if that's going to come through, but you can kind of see the points at the end or the bottom of the lid. Those can break pretty easily because you're setting it down on here, and if it's being used a lot, I guess they just chip easily. And this one, thankfully, did not have any chips on those pieces, so that really helped the value. I only knew that because somebody messaged me and asked me, hey, does it have any chips on those points? Here's why. So it's kind of cool to learn about all little things about these items all the time. It's nice when buyers and people that are obvious users of these products, and they know a lot more about these products that the collectors do than we do, or at least than I do. It's just nice to get a little bit of info along the way. This sold for $19.95. It's an Eiffel geared plier wrench. I actually have two of these, only listed one. Bought this for $5 at an estate sale very recently. It sold super quick, which I was kind of surprised by because, I mean, these have an okay sell-through rate, but I priced it a little bit high. Normally they sell for about $15. So, but because I spent $5, I'm like, I want to get 20 at least. So, yeah, Eiffel, E-I-F-E-L, geared plier wrench. P-L-I-E-R-E-N-C-H. They kind of combine the words pliers and wrench together. Cool little tool. I don't know exactly how it uses or how it's used, other than it's obviously pliers that move back and forth. But I don't know where the wrench part comes in. I sold all of these, which is a bit surprising. Honestly, I didn't know if I was going to sell any of them, but because they were free in my stock storage unit auction, or not free, but they came as part of the storage unit auction. I saw that at least some had sold on eBay. I had 3 of them, and they all sold. I made grand total on all 3, maybe $2.75 or $3, but it's just these window insulation kit. $6.69. Free shipping. Big time money maker is that one. Finally sold my last pair of Vibram 5 fingers. I put it in quotes because I actually had this returned. Buyer said he didn't want these because there was a hole in it, and also maybe they didn't fit. It was more they didn't fit, but then he claimed there was a hole in it. I pored over this thing, and I did find what he was talking about. And it was basically an area where 2 seams came together, and like there was 1 stitch that had come out. So I would certainly not call that a hole. But these are Vibram 5-finger KSO Eco Wool. Picked these up for $5.99. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I wish I had a never-ending supply of Vibram 5-fingers. They are great sellers. These ones right here sold for $49.95 plus shipping. Hopefully this buyer will fit for him or her. I'm assuming it's a him because they're very large, size 11.5, 12. But these are great sellers. Great sell-through rate on the Vibram 5-fingers. Weird shoes, great sellers. This took a lot longer to sell than I thought, but and then I ended up having to take an offer quite a bit less than. I had it listed for $30 and it sold for $20. Picked this up for 50 cents though, so. It's a vintage Chanel number 5 Eau de Toilette. Not full. as you can see, and you may be asking, how did you sell this on eBay? Well, I take the tactic of just listing these as new. eBay doesn't allow you to sell pre-owned cologne, perfume, things of that nature. But if you just list it as new, like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of other listings on there, and then just make it very clear, you know, I said that there's about 40% of this bottle in here, then and these will sell quite, you know, eventually they'll sell no problem. Assuming you have a good brand on there, of course, or a good kind of perfume or cologne. But anyway, 50 cents into $20. Can't complain about it, even though I was hoping to get a little bit more than that. That is okay, because that still is a really good profit margin. All right, I sold my second skiing or snowboarding related item. This is a pair of bindings, snowboard bindings that I picked up. I actually picked up, so I went to this weird sale. It was just a couple miles from my house. I call it a weird sale because when I got there, like the guy that was running it wasn't even there. It was in his shop, but he doesn't live there. Other people live there, and eventually he showed up, and I bought these bindings and one other big item. I'll show you that because I got to do something with it eventually. But these Burton CFX snowboard bindings, the CFX is right there. I think these are from right around the Y2K time period. They are missing one kind of rubber, it's called a rubber toe tongue, which is this thing right here. It's missing on this one. I think it's supposed to have plates that go on the bottom as well. Anyway, I had these listed for something, I don't know, maybe in the $40 range, and somebody sent me an offer for $25. I paid $5 for these, but if that even, I think it was $5. And somebody asked me, somebody who obviously knows more about snowboarding than I do said, hey, it looks like these need a few things, so how about $25? And I said, sure, because that's still a nice sale, $25 plus shipping. Just gonna put that in probably a 10 by 10 by 10 box and send it on its merry way. But the other thing I bought at this sale is one of those, I have a lot of these, and I don't know why I do it, but I have a lot of these where I'm like, oh, this could be worth so much money if I just do this little thing or that little thing or whatever. I bought these for $40 from the guy there. Bose 901 Series 4 speakers. Now these are very old. I think they're from the 70s. I'm not positive exactly when they are, but these are like super good speakers. This one is backwards, so it looks more like that one down at the bottom. But you know, I haven't tested these. The guy that I bought them from, he hadn't ever used them, but these, if they are in like pristine working condition, easily worth $600. I don't know about easily, but they're worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'll put it that way. There is a piece on the inside, or a bunch of pieces on the inside. If you take off that front cover, there's actually, I think, 8 or 12 little circular speakers in there, and they have this foam padding around each one. Over time that deteriorates, and I think for probably another $30 or something, I could order those online, replace the foam, and then that'll probably increase the value at least $100. The other thing is if I ever do list those, obviously they're very big. That's going to be a beast to ship. Once again, I don't like shipping big things. I procrastinate to list the item. I procrastinate if they do sell when it comes time to ship it. It's just not fun. So instead, what I do is just throw it in a corner and sit on it. Great idea, right? No, it's not. I have several other things that are like that. There's this medical lift battery pack that I haven't done. You know, I need to buy a little piece for it. There are guitars that I need to test, but then when I do list them, how am I going to ship them? This thing right here is super cool. I need to list that. I bought that for $30. It's a lead smelter, I think is the proper term for it, for fishing weights. Bought that for $30. Probably can sell that for $250. This weighs at least 50 pounds. It is extremely heavy, but just haven't done it. So I just have all these little things that that I need to, all these big things, I should say, that I need to list. Big money, I just haven't done it. I just noticed I bought a whole bunch of foam, or of padded mailers recently because I thought I was out, and then I just see I have a big couple of bundles of them right there, so that's kind of frustrating. Oh well. All right, last item for the day, and one of the better ones. Picked this up at my favorite thrift store for $12.99. When I bought it originally, I just thought it was a cool NFL-themed San Francisco 49ers product. Turned out it is a little cooler than just that. Let me set this down and try and get a good view of it. Well, it's not going to be the best view, but... So this right here is this big San Francisco 49ers poncho. That's the neck hole, and it's kind of double-sided to a certain extent. There's a gold inner portion, and it just says San Francisco 49ers on the back. But this actually turned out to be a San Marcos. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. There we go. San Marcos blanket. San Marcos blankets are really well known, really well made in Mexico. And that is a great brand name when it comes to the blanket world. So because of that, I thought that was definitely had some value. I don't know if there are any other of these that have sold in years. I don't exactly know when it was made, but anyway, I listed it for 80 or 90 bucks, I think, and the NFL season is getting closer to being over. We're over halfway now, so somebody sent me an offer for $65, and I took it because I thought that was definitely good value, and didn't want to have to sit on it for another year. So anyway, we had, actually I forgot there was one more item that sold. Very first item, I almost forgot to pull it. This is actually a 3D printed Sega Genesis cartridge holder. I bought this when I bought all my Sega Genesis cartridges, and I also have a Nintendo N64 holder over there as well. So that basically was free. Sold that for $10.99 free shipping. So basically probably about $5 or $6, which is not bad for an item that was technically free. But anyway, all in, I think we have somewhere around... So right around $550, $600 total for the day. So not too bad. On these, I think there were 11 items total, maybe 12. So pretty good. And again, that's just indicative of how great this month is going for me. So once again, comment below, what would you do in that situation with that buyer that messages you months after they have received the item? Again, let me know. What would you do? So thanks so much for watching. Please like this video if you did, and subscribe to my channel to get more content like this in the future. Good luck with all your reselling ventures out there, and we'll catch you on the next video. So take care. Bye-bye.